You're with Cheryl Lee, that radio chick. Welcome to the Still Rocking It podcast, where we'll have news, reviews and interviews with some of our favourite Australian musicians and artists. Today we speak to ARIA Hall of Famer, 72 years young, Sherbet lead singer and king of pop, Daryl Braithwaite. What's he up to at the moment? Let's find out. You're with Cheryl Lee, that radio chick. We have a favourite of mine, Daryl Braithwaite, talking to us today. Thank you for joining us, Daryl.
My pleasure.
We've got an exciting visit from you and a few friends coming up later this month, which we'll talk about in a minute. But
Yeah.
I think the last time I saw you was at the Weekend of Rock here in Adelaide at our Adelaide Oval.
Yeah.
But what I remember about that night was just how happy you and the other artists were to be back on that stage and performing. We could feel it in the audience.
Well, I'm glad that you could and that they could, because we really didn't think we would make it because of COVID restrictions. And then we got special dispensation from the South Australian government and maybe the Victorian government as well. And we had to follow strict COVID-19 restrictions, like get off the plane, go to here, go to the, fill out your name, have the test, with the thing up the nose and down the back of the throat, and then all that. And then, we were staying at the hotel, that's right, out at the airport. So we had to go there, stay there for a couple of hours, then go for sound check, then go back to the hotel. Then we went back to the gig and left the next morning. But the gig was really, really good. I mean, for everyone. It was just, as you said, it was such a joy to get out and play to an audience. Nonetheless, I mean, they weren't allowed to stand up or stuff like that, but at least it was a start, is how we looked at it.
That's right. Well, we were allowed to dance in front of our chairs, but we weren't allowed to move from in front of our chairs. So it was just great to be seeing live music and being able to move your hips again. And I actually reviewed that for the Tour Act Times, that Weekend of Rock here. That was great.
Where are we? We played in Bundaberg on the weekend, and that was 5,000 people all standing. So we're getting there,
We are.
I don't think it's over yet in a long shot. You know what I mean?
No.
I think it's going to be a nasty little thing for the next maybe
Good
year
while.
or 2 years. Yeah, I think so.
Well, the time I think that I saw you before, that was the firefight at ANZ Stadium in Sydney. It's hard to believe that we'll ever do that, be in that environment ever again, but hopefully we will one day.
I think we will. It's and hopefully not for that cause, for bushfires. I think eventually we'll get back. And when I say we, I guess that means the whole world. I mean, we're in a better shape than maybe a lot of places in the world, which is great.
We are very blessed
to
be living here in Australia, that's for sure. Let's have a quick song from Daryl now. I wonder if he'll play this. You're My World from Days Go By, the definitive greatest hits collection from 2017. Back with Daryl after this to hear all about his latest projects.
I feel the power so.
Well, I know you're a busy man, Daryl, so let's get on to the exciting news of your next visit here to Adelaide. You're playing at our Bridgeway Hotel, which is one of our favourite venues here in the north of Adelaide, on the 21st of May, and you're bringing a couple of ruffians with you. It's an interesting mix of gentlemen. How did this all come about with Russell Morris, Jack Jones and Ray Thistlethwaite?
It came about probably from an idea from the agent and the promoter that's putting it on, John Starr. I guess we've all thought that at one stage it'd be good to play together. This is probably over the last decade, but you never get round to doing it. So the idea has come to fruition that the four of us, Ray, Russell, Jack and myself, are all going to play our own songs, and then we'll throw in maybe a couple of covers and then two new songs and maybe another song from somewhere. It's it's limited, but it'll be really, really interesting. I was only talking about it this morning that we'll probably do one song each and then continue like that, and we'll all be on the stage at the same time. So we'll partake in each other's songs and we'll just see how it goes. But it'll be so interesting playing, particularly, I've played with Russell before, but Jack, and Ray. And Ray is like such a wizard on piano, guitar, singing, and music in general.
Sure is. Very talented young man.
Oh, and they're all good people. We've all been doing it for a long time, so I imagine we all understand, what is needed to make it work, which is just, do your best and hopefully people will like it.
Well, I think we'll love it. I, for one, am looking forward to it. I'm reviewing that show as well for the tour act time, so I'll see you down the front.
Oh,
It'll be
good.
Great night. Normally, when there's lineups sort of like this, you guys come out one at a time and you each sing your own songs, and then we might, get you doing a 2 or 3 or an encore at the end. But the fact that you guys are on stage together, the whole concert, I think that's going to be so much fun.
I think so. I think because it's sort of not making out that anyone is better than the other or any of that. It's just sort of we're doing it because we think it's a great idea. Plus, we've never done this before, with each other. So the enthusiasm is there from the 4 of us to see how it will work. And then the band that we've got, we all know the guys that are in the band as well. So it'll just be really, really good. Especially for us. And then the audience, I hope they catch on as well,
They definitely will. I went to see Wilbur Wilde and Frankie J at this venue at the Bridgeway only a few weeks ago. And we were so keen, the patrons were lined up around the corner and down the road hours before. I think you're in for a good night.
I honestly think people will like the 4 of us, like individually as well, but the 4 of us together. To my understatement, it's promising, let me tell you.
I, for one, am really looking forward to it. And we can dance as well.
I think
crowd
we
will
can.
Be able to, we were the other week, so I'm sure we still can.
Well,
we in Adelaide love a bit of a dance.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, I've been to places in Adelaide where they dance, I'm sure.
Well, I haven't.
I'm sure you have.
And recently one of your friends, I think one of your nearly an original from Sherbet, Sammy C, was here recently too with the fraternity 50th anniversary. Do you see him anymore?
I see him occasionally here in Melbourne when I'm in Melbourne, and it's always good to bump into Sam because he was in the Sherbet lineup there for a little while at the start.
Yeah.
So
that's right, lovely bloke. Now, I know you have to go, so I don't want to hold you up for your next appointment.
That's all right.
I saw that you attended Punt Road Primary.
Yeah.
So do you follow the AFL, or did you change codes when you went to live in Sydney?
No. Well, when we moved to Sydney, and we spent 20 years there, I followed mainly eastern suburbs in the rugby league and Randwick in the rugby union, and in the AFL, always been a Collingwood supporter.
Oh, no, I thought maybe you were Richmond. So it's time to go now.
No, well, I had 2 Richmond supporters in the band, and they were crying on the weekend.
Oh, no, so was I.
And it was so good that Richmond got beaten, and just, the bass player, Jason, takes it so seriously. I've never known anyone to, and he's swearing at the TV, Scott,
I love him already.
Yeah, no, but no, looking forward to Adelaide, Cheryl Lee. It'll be really good.
Thanks again, Daryl,
for
pleasure. The chat. And I'll see you on the 21st. I'll see you down the front.
You will do. Okay.
Righto, ta-da. You're with Cheryl Lee, that radio chick. Thank you so much for joining me on the Still Rocking It podcast. Hope to catch you again next time. Get out when you can, support Aussie music, and I'll see you down the front.